Hi man, peace. It's Bronzebird here with another video. So, what came across my desk recently was about the famous ex-NFL player by the name of Ed Reed, who was recently fired or let go from his position as being a coach from Bethune Cookman University in Florida, in which, it was noted that he was telling about the conditions that he had as being a coach at the school. And it reminds me of two different situations. First, the video I did about the young lady in New York that was fired for putting her business about being a security guard on MTA property. And then it reminds me about Deion Sanders, who decided to take the deal that the university in Colorado had for him, which was a better salary for him than where he was working at at that time at the university in Tennessee or Mississippi. I forgot which one. But it's funny because the reason I tie both those things together is that number one, it goes back to what I was saying in that video. What you do or say can be used against you, especially on social media. Number one, right? And number two, also, this gives into the idea when a so-called black man decides to put himself out there and do things for the betterment of a university because he cares about the children, the neglect that comes from the university itself or the franchise or corporation, they try to con that black man as the enemy and say that, it's messed up that you have to act like that, or why would you do this, or why you do that. And then, what I've heard on a lot of these platforms is that they try to attribute the so-called black man's choice to the community so that he is responsible for trying to get the community to get back together when it comes to finances or it comes to his choice about what he's doing, because he's risking his time to coach young men. When it comes to football, this attributes to the idea that he's responsible for having a community come back together. And it's complete nonsense. It's a complete detractor to the reality of the situation. He is a man that is getting paid for his talents to coach young men when it comes to football. So Deion Sanders was like the first one to come out with this, and now you have Ed Reed. And Ed Reed will tell you in a video that the conditions he had to deal with when he was at that college was abominable. And that why should he have to take the rank and have to put up with a university that does not want to do better when it comes to their sanitary conditions, when it comes to the students, and when it comes to the faculty? So I'm going to be playing this video, reviewing it with you guys, and I'm just going to give my commentary along the way in which I support, Ed Reed. He did the best that he could do, but how much bullshit can you take when a university is not trying to do their job and pulling the weight that they're supposed to do to make the conditions better for everyone? Especially if you're an ex-NFL player and you're taking time out of your day and time out of your week to better the lives of these football players that want to become the next NFL stars and all those other things. You understand? So, Pete. So this first one is from his YouTube page. And I just want to show you guys a little bit about what he's talking about in another video.
You never know the day nor the hour. None of us know when that time will come. You understand? We've been around here trying to change things, and we have, and this has changed quickly. My vision for change is probably moving too fast for a lot of people. I'm not withdrawing my name, as they saying. They don't want me here. They do not want me here because I tell the truth. They have never had this many people here in the recruiting time, and Coach, I've been saying that. We've been here at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I even slept here one night to make sure I was comfortable, and I was. My guy.
What's up, my guy?
It's hurt. It's hurt because I know people don't care about these kids like I do.
And you know something else I have to say, and when it seems as if what goes into this conversation about education in general, yeah, the American school system has definitely put themselves on the line of not giving a shit about students in general. You know, you have teachers that's being underpaid, you know, you have understaffing, and a lot of these teachers are risk their time and their duty to make sure that the education system for the children is well met. Now imagine someone like Ed Reed, him already saying, hey, yo, I sacrifice a lot of my time. I used to come here at 3 a.m. I slept here. I did this, I did that to ensure that these children have an outlet, especially when it comes to football, an outlet for them to play, for them to conspire together, because football does more than just the tackling and all that other stuff. It's a lot of, I would say, psychological things that go into football. You know what I mean? And that's why I think it's always great, especially for men, especially young men, to get into sports, to get into some type of extracurricular activity where it inspires you to use your strength and use your mind. So someone like Ed Reed, and he's taking his time out of his day, and the university is treating him like this. Yeah, of course, he should resign. He should be like, you know what? Well, if I don't feel welcome here, why am I wasting my time?
And they should be the ones leaving, not me. Because I don't want to. Why? Because Jeremy Greaves, whose father I looked in the eye, and y'all mothers and fathers who I talked to last night, even though I knew they didn't want me. I took $2,400 out of my pocket and still gave it to the host to host these young men. Shit, at this point, I'd do it for free. Because I have been for the last 3 weeks. That man have too. He drove from New Orleans because he believed in me and my vision. And that man right there who flew from California less than 2 hours and got off the plane, and he was here to see the rant. He got off the plane, and what we started doing, young man? Motherfuckers. Yeah, I curse. And y'all done heard curse words before. And they got parents in here. And no, I don't want to leave. And like I told you, I want all these recruits. But they got some corrupt people in this world, some evil people that don't care about kids like I do. So I want y'all to hear the truth from me. I ain't withdrawing my name. I got the receipts. They got all kinds of stuff going on around here. Hoarding these buildings with nothing but trash in them. You understand me? And Dion was right. And I know I'm right. And they got some people in here who be snitching to their ass.
And the funny thing about it is the HBCUs these last couple of years that I've been noticing, they've just been going to shit so bad so that the admission rate is going down. You know, they have to accept, you know, other races of people. More primarily, they try to post it over to so-called white people. But we already know, like, some of these HBCUs was started and funded by so-called white people. Now, this one in particular, Mary, I believe her name is Mary Bethune Cookman, you know, a famous Black activist, so-called Black woman that was an activist during the Great Depression era, you know, did things under, you know, Roosevelt's tenure of trying to get jobs for more Black people from where she was from, and, you know, different places she traveled to. But anyway, you know, funny thing about these HBCUs, riddled in corruption, a lot of these different things out there, scandals, it's not anything new, but the passion and drive that a so-called Black man will put into a school, a corporation, you know, anything that a so-called Black man does to try to better the conditions is not met with any type of admiration. You know what I'm saying? It's always met with some problems. Oh, he's too real, or he's too raw, or he curses too much. They'll nitpick and cherry pick everything they can under the sun to make it seem like someone like Ed Reed or Deion Sanders are the problem. Then because of so-called Black people, they want to put the pressure on so-called Black men so much, such as this guy, to be the backbones and the ones that's helping the community. HBCUs is not the community, man. I must say that. You know, and now it's honorable to have colleges that's catered towards Black people, black men and women, or more specifically, because I want more of the black men to succeed in this society. Of course, they're going to have those colleges for black men. But at the same time, riddled with corruption, and you guys aren't taking care of the sanitary conditions. And then there's pressure on Ed Reed, who's sacrificing his time. The men that's flying from California or driving from New Orleans, crying, sitting there because they see a man like this with the passion he has, and it's being ignored by people in the faculty like you.
And I work amongst Judas as Jesus walked with him. And I ain't have a problem with it. Because even Jesus prevailed.
Sir.
And what God got for you, no man can take.
Sir.
I told these young men, I don't care who we play, because I don't. My nephew was transferred here. My nephew right there. They want me to leave my nephew here. Am I lying, Neff? No, sir. He been getting a bad break at Southern. Some evil people, man, that don't care about your kids. But I was here because I wanted them all, like I told y'all last night, and I still do.
You know, the funny thing I get out of this conversation, and I really applaud this brother for being as real as he is, and I don't take back, anything this brother does, because absolutely the way he's voicing his opinion is very important. And it's a telltale sign to show that when so-called black men do the right thing for fellow man, again, it's met with opposition. But the funny thing that I'm seeing out of this conversation is that more than likely HBCU didn't try to, make it a good deed that, someone like Ed Reed would be coaching their kids. They wanted the idea, like, because of his status, because he's an ex-NFL player, he's coaching our children. Now, imagine if they was to give a salary to another so-called black man who wasn't an NFL player. Would it be different? Would they have the black man to say, to go out up front, and would this make national headlines? Probably not. But at the same time, it's not about Ed Reed being an NFL player. It's about him being a black man who's standing on his principle. And any other black man that was standing on his principle, just like Ed Reed, they would give him a hard time. They would put stuff under the rug. And I'm pretty sure that black man would be aggravated as hell, knowing that he spent all this time to ensure and care for these kids, and he gets nothing back in return but a paycheck and unsanitary conditions while going to this school, Bethune Cookman. And I believe that. I believe that this is the reason why all this stuff happened. They didn't care about Ed Reed. They cared about the status. And more than likely, they cared about the profit, because they're on their last legs. They're trying to get funding. They're trying to do all these different things to stay afloat. But your whole entire school institution is like shit, and you can't clean it. And then this man is taking time out of his day to do what he has to do, and there's still no apology, no sorries, but you want him to leave. All because he exposed exactly what was going on in that school. Got a lot of questions to answer, man.
And if somebody gave me a job, they all could come. Probably won't happen. But I'll tell y'all this. My brother died 11 years ago around this time, and we buried him. And I was in the NFL in the cold tub icing when I found out. And I didn't go home. I played the game on Sunday because that's what he would want me to do. Just like I want y'all to keep going, regardless of what happens today. Young men, that's what I've been telling y'all. Right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Pick up trash tomorrow, because that's what we would do, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We was gonna do it anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
Jaden, where you at? What you said, Jaden, last Sunday?
And now I want to take you to the video that went viral of him, exposing what Bethune Cookman school conditions was like. So we're going to be here, and that's the video that, got a lot of viral attention. So let's check this out together.
I've been mutting and showing shit. I chose not to. But now I'm out here walking with the football team, picking up trash. But I'm mutting us. Man, get out of here, man. I should leave. I'm not even under contract doing this. I'm mutting us? Man, get out of here, man. They mutt me. These motherfuckers ain't even clean my goddamn office when I got here. I'm mutting y'all? Get your ass, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. All this shit here was trash in front of me. Who you think got this shit cleared out? That building right there got trash in it. It's fucking trash. What are you talking about? You need no goddamn donors to come out and help out, because people just want money. That's why I don't fuck with social network.
Well, like this, man, and I can understand his aggravation, his frustration to this whole entire process, and I agree. If you're not even coming out of contract with this, it's like, yo, like, what the hell am I even doing this for? I have to pick up the trash that you guys should already have in place, and I mean, it's more than just trash. It's about the fact that a man that sees the vision for the future generation is obviously being ignored by an institution that's supposed to educate the future generation to become profitable and great young men and women. And for that to be ignored by someone who's coming out of pocket, doing things out of kind of his heart, and you shit on him, it's going to come tenfold. You know what I mean? Everything comes to the light. Everything comes to the light.
Fuck out of here, man. Prime was not wrong about what he was saying. All y'all out there with y'all opinions, full of crap, don't know shit. But needless to say, I just pulled up to work. We're gonna try to help y'all too, man, because I know a lot of HBCs need help.
And that was a video clip that had him go viral. But I think is this. I mean, I know there's been all these problems with HBCUs for a long time. And, my backwards thinking of things, I'd be like, well, if there's all these problems at these HBCUs, why you ain't getting a Divine Nine and sit up there and pull their asses out the grass and start doing some shit and cleaning the trash that's there? You know what I'm saying? That's a story for another day. Well, my point is that it's very ironic that this whole entire problem comes in with someone like Ed Reed and Deion Sanders exposing the problems that happens with HBCUs. And then, certain people get into this community talk about how, it's important for the Black man to save the community and then all these different things. But at the same time, A, it's a contract. He should be getting paid for what he rightfully does. And number two, what obligation and what community? Now, my thing about it is with someone like Ed Reed, I don't blame him. You get treated like shit. You get ran through the mud, and this college is not trying to care for you, but their conditions is dirty and unsanitary. You should leave. You should go somewhere where you are wanted, especially for a profession that you love doing. Now, after this video happened, I had happened to see, I believe yesterday, about how Bethune Cookman students is now going on protest and saying that the conditions at the school is deplorable and that they don't like what's going on. It needs fixing and all these different things. Now, isn't it ironic that a so-called Black man like Ed Reed, an ex-NFL player who risked his time and risked his day to make sure that students was getting the proper treatment and even told the young boys, we're going to go ahead and pick up this trash and better the school environment, when that shouldn't even be on them. It should be the proper people, that should be taking up the trash. And look what happens. The students now start to come out and say that this school is unsanitary and they need to take care of these trash problems. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like HBCUs is fucking up, in general. I don't know if they're getting the proper funding. I don't think they're getting the proper funding, but we'll see what happens. But, my thing at the end of the day with someone like Ed Reed, I'm on the team, brother. I understand exactly where this dude is coming from, and I really understand exactly how he feels. Get paid for your professions and don't have to go out of your loop and go out of your way when it comes to them messing up when it comes to you. Well, otherwise than that, I spoke enough. Make sure you give me your thoughts in the comment section. And before I leave, like and subscribe. Peace.